So welcome everybody to our morning yoga. I'm happy to see everyone. I'm going to ring my little chime to begin. Okay, so you can make your way to Shavasana to begin. So just make yourself comfortable on your mat, on your back, with your palms facing up, your arms away from your body, your legs separated, your toes pointing to the edges of your mat. So begin to just settle in, leaving any cares or concerns you have, maybe in an imaginary basket outside your door. Begin to just feel the earth under your body, fully supporting you, and begin to come into your breath. So, you might perhaps think about using that 5-5 breath. Remember, that's inhale for 5 and exhale for 5. You might consider the 4-7-8 breath. Remember that? That's you inhale for 4, you hold for 7, and you exhale as you relax for 8. And then the third way you might consider coming into your breath is to use that so, hum. Remember that? So inhale for so and make a long hum. And you're doing that, all of these obviously in your mind, you're not speaking them. So just settle in and feel the relaxation and the calm as you focus on your breath for a few moments. And if while you're doing that, your mind starts to wander and you start to think of other things, as soon as you notice that, just without judgment, just bring yourself back to the breath, whichever home base, we'll call it your home base, whichever one you chose, 5-5 or 4-7-8 or so. So our focus today is going to be on balance. So we've done some strength, flexibility, and then, naturally we'll come to that balance piece. All very important in our practice. So, and I will guide you as we move through the practice on some of the things that can help you with balance. So no worries, Okay, so we'll just bring ourselves into a full body stretch as we usually do. So floating our arms up overhead and just stretching out, really walking the shoulders up towards the ears and stretching out through the fingertips and then down through the body and out through the toes. So really bring a nice stretch to the body. You can even yawn if you want. And then relax the arms and legs. And then this next time, we're going to stretch out through the left fingertips and the right toes. So lift that right leg off the mat, lift the left arm off the mat, and just stretch through the left fingertips and the right toes, and see if you can allow the opposite arm and leg to be relaxed. Just stretching, reaching, pointing, and then relax. And then we're going to lift the right arm, stretch up through the right fingertips and the left toes, and really reach and really point and stretch. Feel that stretch. Allow the rest of the body to be relaxed. And then release the arm and leg back to the mat. And just at this point, take note of how your body is feeling. Notice your forehead, is there tension there? Notice if your facial muscles have tension, or perhaps if they're relaxed, which is, what we're looking for. Or, our intention is to relax the body. as we work through our practice. Relax the shoulders, relax the mouth and jaw, try to part the lips so that we're not clenching. And then scan down the rest of the body and notice whether you're, holding tension any place, and allow yourself to just be supported by the mat. Okay, we'll walk our heels over to the left off the mat. We'll lift our head and shoulders towards the left, and we'll come into a stretch here. You can stay just as you are, or take your right ankle on top of your left and take your right wrist with your left hand and give it a gentle tug towards the left. So we're opening up the right side body, and here we'll take some nice big breaths in and out into that right side. In through the nose and out through the mouth as we relax the shoulders. We'll do that again. Nice big inhale in through the nose and out through the mouth. Relaxing on the exhale. And then we'll just come back to center. And then we'll walk the heels over towards the right, off the mat. Walk the shoulders and the head off to the right. And if you cross the ankles on the other side, do the same thing here. So left ankle on top of right. Take that left hand, the left wrist with your right hand. So left wrist, right hand. And give a gentle tug over towards the right, opening up the left side body. We're making space for nice, fresh oxygen. So let's take a nice big deep breath in through our nose, out through our mouth, as we relax into the stretch. Do that again. And just notice that the body is completely supported. Walk the head and shoulders back to center. Uncross the ankles, walk them back to center. And then we'll bend the knees and place the soles of the feet on the mat as we float the arms down. And then we're going to come into a yogi sit-up here. So we'll interlace the fingers and bring them behind the back of the head. Elbows are out wide, and we'll send the right leg out straight as we lift the head and shoulders opposite, so right knee to left, right elbow to left knee, and we'll just pedal back and forth, kind of bicycle back and forth, opposite knee to opposite elbow, engaging your core and using your breath. And just do this as many times as your body allows. Maybe create a little bit of heat. And come down whenever you need to. And once your feet are on the mat, float your arms up overhead to release your lower back. And you can just gently windshield wiper both knees from side to side. Just kind of massaging the back a little bit. And then you can come to stillness with the knees as you float the arms back down by your sides. And we're going to take the right ankle on top of the left thigh, and you can either keep your head down on the mat or lift your head and shoulders up and just bring your right hand through that triangle space that you've made. Lift the left foot off the mat. We'll come into reclined pigeon. So we'll relax our shoulders, relax our head and neck. And we'll draw that left thigh towards us, even millimeters towards us on each exhale. So we're just trying to open up that right hip. And if your head and neck don't feel comfortable, you can relax them back down onto the mat. That's perfectly fine. We're not really trying to bring any strain or tension to the neck, but we're trying to open up that right hip. So just as you exhale, draw that left knee in a little closer. Check in with the jaw. Try to relax the jaw. Try to relax the shoulders. And just enjoy the stretch in that hip. And then we're going to bring that left foot back to the mat, let go of that left thigh, and we'll just keep that right leg up and just cross the legs. So we're going to stack the knees. Okay, so the legs are crossed. And we'll come into a reclined twist here. So we're just going to shift the hips an inch or two towards the right and allow the knees to fall left. Okay, so the lower half of the body is, where we're twisting. So the shoulders and the head are just relaxing on the mat. Equally balanced shoulders, so we're not lifting the shoulder off the mat. So as I mentioned to you, our practice today is going to include balance. So I'll offer, a few things that I think will help support us being a little bit better at balance. And so while we're reclining here, bring to your mind your mat. So you're laying on your mat, and your mat, the long way, imagine that the mat was divided in half. So almost like somebody drew a line down the middle of the mat and also down the middle of the body, so that we're dividing the body equally on the left side and the right side. And we'll call this middle line our midline. And so I may be cueing you to squeeze your thighs or squeeze your arms, your forearms or your upper arms towards the midline. So in your mind, you're going to squeeze the thighs and the arms towards the midline, which will help you find your center of gravity. So that's just one thing that we can practice today. All right, so let's just inhale our knees back up to center, uncross them, and we'll take that left ankle on top of the right thigh. And if you kept your head down on the other side, do the same thing here. If you lifted your head and shoulders off the mat, do the same thing here. So lift the right foot up off the mat, leave that left hand through the space you've made it, clasp behind the right thigh, and again, just use your breath to draw that right thigh in closer on the exhales. So now opening up the left hip. Just using your breath. Your breath can support you in many ways. It can help you find calm. It can help you move with ease. So, and we have our breath with us all the time. So just tap into that energy source and feel that nice stretch in the left hip. And we'll release that right foot back to the floor. We'll keep that left leg up and just stack the left knee on top of the right knee. So just crossing that left knee over the right. And then we'll take the hips an inch or two to the left and allow the knees to fall to the right. And just see if you can keep the upper body relaxed and the lower body twist. And another thing, I could mention to you, whenever we do twists, it's very important for us to drink a lot of water afterwards. We're they say twisting out toxins or things we no longer need. So it helps to just flush anything we no longer need out of our system by drinking a lot of water. And just scan, the face and notice whether it's relaxed. And then we'll inhale back to center and uncross the legs. Okay, since our class is on balance, we're going to bring our feet into the air and clasp behind our thighs, and we'll bring our head up and our shoulders up, begin to rock back and forth, massage from our back, and then bring a little momentum and see if you can come up to boat. And your legs can be either bent like this, or you can straighten your legs and see if you can engage the core, engage the abs, and hold into boat. And try to relax the shoulders here. Balancing on our sit bones. Using our breath to balance. And then come down whenever you'd like. And we'll bring ourselves into Sukhasana. We'll rock back and forth on our sit bones and just feel our body being supported. We'll come into a seated cat-cow now. So place your hands on your knees and we'll just rock forward on the inhale as we gaze up. Nice tall spine extending through our crown. Exhale, round back, bring our chin to our chest, round our shoulders. When we exhale, and now inhale forward, gazing up. Exhale back. Just continue rocking back and forth in your own time, your own rhythm, using your breath, inhaling when you come forward, exhaling when you go back. And then the next time you come through the center, you can come to stillness. Okay, so sitting up nice and tall, shoulders are relaxed. We're going to inhale our arms up, gaze up at the fingertips, and then we're going to twist to the right and open our arms wide as if we're going to maybe give someone a big hug. Twisting, inhale up, sitting up nice and tall, extending through the fingertips, and then twist left, opening our arms like we're going to give someone a big hug. Inhale up again, twist right. Inhale up, exhale and twist left. One more time. Inhale up, twist left on the exhale. Inhale, twist, and exhale. And then bring yourself back to center. You can probably really feel that in the shoulders, which feels kind of good. Okay, so we'll bring ourselves to a wide-legged pose. So we're going to spread out. You can't really see my legs too well, but they're spread wide. Okay, so we're going to sit up nice and tall, press the backs of the legs into the mat. Inhale the arms up, and we're going to fold forward at the hip creases. So lead with your chin and your chest, and just come forward, 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 and just relax wherever you land. You can flex the feet and just feel the stretch on the back of the legs, the hamstrings. If this does not feel comfortable, you can bend your legs a little bit so they don't need to be straight, but if you can get them straight, it might feel good to kind of stretch out the back of the legs. And then we'll inhale up, and we're going to come to table now. So make your way to a table position. Gracefully, we'll do this. And so from table, we're going to come into a cat balance since our class is on balance. And so this is the time when we want to squeeze the thighs, like mentally squeezing to the midline and squeeze the arms towards the midline. Spread the fingers wide
And so, and you're going to press into the hands that are still on the mat. So, and press into the shoelace top of the leg that's still on the mat. So use the earth, okay? So extend the right foot out long. We're going to point the toe this time. And then extend the left fingertips forward and squeeze. Just kind of think of the thighs squeezing towards the midline. Pressing into the mat and using your breath. So not collapsing into that right shoulder. Squeezing the core, engaging the core muscles. Squeezing the glutes, especially that right one. And then release. We'll take it to the other side, so point that left toe, and then send the right fingertips forward, and think about squeezing the thighs towards each other, the inner thighs towards each other, towards the midline. Press away from the mat. Extend through the fingertips, and then release. And if you would like to come into a child's pose to release your lower back, or you can come back. Just bring your forehead down to the mat. And then come back to your table. And we're going to come to gate pose. So we're going to do a little balance here. So just, give it a shot, all right? So we're going to bring the left hand towards the middle of the mat. We'll pivot that left foot off the mat as we send the right leg out straight, pressing into the sole of the right foot. So my wrist is underneath my shoulder. I'm going to turn and inhale my right hand towards the sky. I can look up at that. And if you want to try the balance, that hand that's on the mat, spread those fingers wide so you have a good base, and try lifting the right foot off the mat. And if, that feels a little awkward to you, you can just tap it back down again. So use your breath, keep breathing. And then bring the foot down, and turn the hand back to the mat. And then we're going to go to the other side. So we're going to do like a rainbow around so that we're still facing our screen. And we'll take the right hand to the middle of the mat. We'll pivot that right foot off the mat. Send the left leg out straight, pressing into the mat with the sole of our foot. And then inhale that left arm up towards the sky, extending through the fingertips. So shoulders are kind of even, wrists are underneath the shoulder. Okay, and then if you want to try lifting that left foot off the mat for a balance, your hand on the mat, the fingers are wide. You have a nice base, engaging the core. And then bring it down, bring the top hand, exhaling it back to the mat. We'll walk our hands towards the center of the mat, bring our hands towards our knees, push up onto our toes, and we'll come to standing. So we'll come to Tadasana. So our feet are, you can either have like your big toes touching, or you can have your feet about hip width apart. And so we'll just rock from side to side and just notice all four corners of the feet, and find the mat underneath your feet. Feel the earth, really notice that. Lift up through your arches for Padabandha, lift up through your kneecaps and your thighs. So we have a nice strong base here. You can even bend down and spread your toes. A nice firm base. And then we'll lift up through our shoulders, bring the shoulders back and down. Send our palms so they're facing forward. And the crown of our head, we're reaching it towards the sky. Okay? So nice tall mountain, nice strong mountain. So we're going to practice a little balance. And so, you know, I already said spread your toes. So that's like actually physically going down and spreading your toes so you have a nice firm base. And then we're going to think about, you know, the midline. Okay, so squeezing the thighs towards the midline. We'll engage the core, so that's another thing we can do. We'll engage the glutes, that's another thing we can do. And then we're going to start the balance on the right leg. So we're going to press into the big toe, the ball of the foot. Okay, so press into that big toe, and then kind of bring your focus to the instep and kind of press into the inner edge of your foot. So you're kind of big toe and inner edge, and then shift the weight to the outer edge. So it's almost like you feel the entire foot. And so weight of the body onto this right leg, feel a nice base, find a drishti, which is a focal point, and then see if you can start to take the weight off the left foot and bring that left knee up. And our hands can be on our hips, our hands can be out wide, like you're on a tightrope, which might help. And then we'll bring the foot wide, the knee wide. We're balancing. And then we'll send the foot back and just come forward a little bit. So you're doing it, you're balancing. Just see where you are today. See if you can bring that right knee forward again. Out wide. To the back. Come forward a little bit. Woo. And then come down. And so you'll notice, like when we do this on the other side, maybe one side is better, and you just see where you are today. You know, some days are better than others. So we'll spread the left toes. I'm going to actually spread them. I'm going to think about squeezing my thighs to the midline. I'm going to press into the big toe of that left foot, the inner edge of that left foot, and then I'm going to shift my balance onto the outer edge of the foot, the pinky toe side. Okay, so pressing into the foot, finding a drishti, something that's not moving, and then see if we can bring that right knee into the air. And so arms out, maybe like a tightrope walker, and then see if you can bring the knee out wide. See if you can bring the foot back as you kind of come forward a little bit. See if you can bring the knee forward again, out in front of you. Maybe out wide again. And then maybe back. And then bring it gracefully down to the earth. And so, you know, just see where you are today. And it greatly helps to just practice this in your off the mat, you know, just walking around the kitchen and kind of stopping for a minute and just bringing your feet up, you know, maybe bringing your hand up, your arms up, maybe coming to prayer, you know, so just practicing, you know, a little bit of balance at home is very helpful, okay, and it brings calm and it brings concentration. Okay, so we'll come to our Tadasana again, and we're going to inhale our arms up, really stretch the fingertips towards the sky, turn the palms away from each other as we swan dive forward, leading with our chin, leading with our chest. Bring our hands maybe to our ankles. Our knees can be bent a little bit. They don't have to be straight. And then we'll press our hands into the front of our calves, our shins. Come up for a half forward fold, so a flat back. Exhale back down. We'll hold on to our elbows with our knees bent, and we'll just sway from side to side with the head and shoulders and the hips. Perhaps shaking the head yes, shaking the head no. And then we'll take our hands to either side of our feet, come down to our knees, and we will come on to our backs. So we'll bring our hands under our sacrum or like our lower back. We'll bring our knees into the air and then send our feet up towards the sky, as if we're walking on the sky with the soles of our feet. So this is waterfall. And then we'll bring our feet back to the mat and lift our hips up to take our hands out from underneath our body. Walk our heels up towards our bottom and we'll come into a bridge. So your heels are up as close as you can get them to your bottom. And then on an inhale, you'll lift the hips up towards the sky. Press into the soles of the feet and the back of the shoulders to get some lift. Keep allowing the breath to flow naturally. And then bring yourself down one vertebrae at a time on your exhale. And then inhale again as we press the hips up towards the ceiling, up towards the sky. So press into the feet so that you can lift the hips. And then exhale down one vertebrae at a time. And then we'll take bridge one more time. So on the inhale, lift the hips up. And you can even roll onto the shoulders and clasp underneath your bottom with your hands. So interlace the fingers if you'd like. You can do this. Press into the mat with your feet to give yourself some lift. Make sure that you're allowing your breath to continue to flow freely. And then roll down one vertebrae at a time. Bring your knees into your chest. And we'll just massage the back by making some circles on the ceiling with the knees. Some small circles, gradually getting bigger. Massaging the lower back, the mid back, and the upper back. And this is a time where you can just thank yourself for making the time to nurture your mind, body, and spirit, just slowing down. And at some point, reverse your direction with your circles. So just being in the present moment allows you to be more calm and relaxed. And just paying attention to the body, just nurturing is the best thing we can do right now, I think. Bring the feet to the mat and then extend the legs out long. Spread the feet wide. Bring them as wide as the edges of the mat. Allow the toes to point diagonally out. And bring the arms out wide. A nice upside down V, palms to the ceiling. And just begin to bring yourself back to the breath. So if you practice that 5-5 breath, return perhaps to that, or the 4-7-8 breath, or so, hum. And on each exhalation, allow yourself to sink a little deeper. Just continue with the breath. Even bring a smile to your lips. for what you have done today for yourself. And I'm going to ring my bowl in a minute. So just continue with the breath. And I hope you can hear my birds tweeting. I don't know if they're tweeting loud enough, but I can hear them. I'm going to ring my bowl. And I'm going to bring my hands to prayer position with my thumbs pressing into my heart center. And may you feel strength, flexibility, and balance as you move through your day. Namaste. I hope everyone has a super day, gets out into the sunshine, listens to the birds, looks at the flowers,